What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of SORARE's Value Hunting. We're heading into game week 14. The goal today is to find as many players with a cap of 20 or less that are going to help us fill out our lineups, especially in those contenders. As always, if you're new to SORARE, go ahead and sign up using the link that we have below in our show notes. It's going to give you 20 free common cards. You can start for free. You don't have to spend a thing. And if you do buy 5 things off of the auctions, you're going to get a 6th one free. Makes us look good. We really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into it. Also, as always, we're going to be using Momentum Labs projections. So you can find a link to them in the show notes as well. Get behind the paywall or just tune into this stuff. And then as always, on Mondays and Fridays, we do a live before lock show before the new game week tips off. So tomorrow, Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back. Our friend TST will be joining the show. We'll be breaking down all the late breaking NBA injury news and then diving into the slate, trying to make those lineups. The show's been a lot of fun. We've been able to nail a couple of winners. We'll point out a couple of losers as well from this past game week. But let's get started first. There's a couple of things that we kind of have to pay attention to in the next 24 hours. Again, I'm recording this Sunday night, so there's still some games going on. We might get some more injury news, but a couple of things to pay attention this week. I'm going to share screen. We're going to go over to Underdog's Twitter account just to scroll through some of the injury news, but some of the stuff that happened this weekend. A weird thing with Trae Young, right? So remember when we were talking on Friday and we're like, DeJounte Murray might be a great play because Trae Young was questionable. Well, we've come to learn that he got in an argument with his coach, Nate McMillan. Weird vibes that led to him sitting the game. So we got to pay attention to whatever weird vibes are going on in Atlanta. We've talked about the vibes way too often in Atlanta, but something to pay attention to. If he continues to miss time, we already saw, right? Like the DeJountes, the AJ Griffins, the Jalen Johnsons, all of those guys who popped over the weekend will continue to pop. So we're going to pay attention to that. Another thing that happened just tonight, Bradley Beal left the game. He's not going to return in tonight's game, so we got to pay attention to Bradley Beal's injury. If someone like him misses, obviously Kuzma and Porzingis get a boost, but we also have to remember some of the cheaper guys like maybe the Monte Morrises, the Jordan Goodwins, those types of players might also get a little bit of a boost as well. Tyrese Halliburton, I'm learning this for the first time. I didn't know this. Halliburton's going to miss 2 games, one being tonight and then one next in the game week 14. So that's, the Benedict Mathurin's, TJ McConnell's. This is actually helping my lineups quite a bit as we go into Sunday night. Except TJ McConnell was ruled out Sunday. So that's terrible. That's terrible. Dame Lillard said he's going to play Sunday. So, right, we got him returning. So that affects some of the Simons, the Jeremy Grants, and Nurks. They're still all great plays. They just maybe not have the same cap that they used to. So again, we'll tune into this on Monday as well to kind of dive into some of the injury news. Let's go over to SORARE. As you can see, right, we've got we got a common contender, common champion, but bang, we get the new common underdog. If we look at the common underdog, right, you only get a cap of 60. So you can't play Jokic. You can't play Jokic. So that's why this value hunting episode becomes even more important, because we're going to be looking at guys that are super, super cheap. So we've got the common underdog that was added. They also added the limited no cap, where you're just playing your best ass plays. So that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. We'll talk more about that strategy on Monday as well. I want to quickly see how my line's doing. That TJ McConnell thing's really going to bum me out, because I think I had I don't know. So here we go. We can see my comment. I've got a comment tier 1. There we go. I didn't know that. We had decent games from. I actually didn't really have anything too sweet. Comment tier 2 over here with the LeBron Jokic line. Kai Jones is pretty garbage, but then he had Şengün, Vassell. LeBron's still playing with a nice 69. Over here we get a limited tier 2. Again, I was hoping for a little boost from TJ McConnell, but it looks like this is going to slip down. Maybe outside of tier 2 into tier 3, which would suck. And then what do we get over here? Limited champion. I mean, unless Jeremy Grant goes ham, that's probably going to miss. The Eastern Conference was kind of a garbage lineup. Anyways, rare contender, I feel like still could sneak in, right? I forget how many they pay there. They pay out, so that could sneak in. The rare champion, though, however, I'm seeing this is at 675, right? And I still have Jeremy Grant, but Jalen Smith and Benedict Mathurin with all those guys out for Indiana. That's kind of a nice boost. So I don't know. Maybe we sneak a rare in there as well. That would be really nice. We want to get a win. But enough about me. Let's get into these projections. So as you can see right here, right, this was last updated yesterday morning. So that's probably not going to take into some of the information we just talked about. So keep that in mind. But let's go scroll down to the 20 cap and let's see if we can find 5 guys, right? Let's see if we can find 5 that actually pop. So Jonas Valanciunas, my name is Jonas. Speaking of the Pelicans, man, Zion's been playing out of his mind. He had a great weekend this weekend. But with Ingram continuing to miss time, Jonas too, his number fell down so far with a cap of 20 that you're going to get those Jonas ceiling games, right, where he puts up a 20 and 20. So I feel like this is pretty safe. He's got a relatively safe floor and a high ceiling at that cap. So I kind of like that. Then you see Jalen Williams, who, man, he had a really good week this week with SGA out, so he's going to continue to be a solid play. But again, I think Jalen Williams is fine. I don't know if he's like the smash that he once was with SGA back as well, but I don't mind it at all. And you see Grant Williams, Kevon Looney, and Andre Drummond, whatever. None of those guys really stick out to me. Jeremy Sohan, again, on the list. Kenyon Martin Jr., he's been inserted into the starting lineup with Jayshawn Tate. I missed some time. Eric Gordon missed some time. Yeah, Kenyon Martin's fine. He's fine. I think we can do better, though. I think we can do better. I like the cheapness value of this of being $9, but I think we can do better. AJ Griffin. Right now, we're going to come to some of these dudes we were talking about here from Atlanta. Again, I mean, AJ Griffin's probably a solid play anyways because he's continued to produce. So I like AJ Griffin quite a bit. And again, if we get that Trae Young like weird vibe energy, I can't imagine Trae Young misses more time because of a coach thing. But if he does, AJ Griffin becomes a smash play again. Let's keep looking here. Alex Caruso. I don't know if you guys saw the footage over the weekend from the Bulls-Warriors game, and there was a clip of Steve Kerr talking to Alex Caruso, and they were basically doing some lip reading where Kerr was like, "I'd love to have you. Would love to have you here." So there you go, Warriors Nation speculation station. Jalen Noel. Yeah, what did Jalen Noel end up doing? They only had one game this weekend. Where's his number? He put up 29. For me, anyways, he's got a cap of 17, so that doesn't move that much. Still with a projection of 23. I like this quite a bit. I like Jalen Noel quite a bit. He's probably going to continue to be one of my favorite plays as Minnesota adjusts to this new 4 to 6 week life without Karl-Anthony Towns. We'll talk about Wendell Moore again, who didn't really have a great game, but was never the thesis of the play. Andrew Nembhard, he is going to pop a little bit more with Halliburton out, right? So with no Hallie, I know we're only seeing a projection of 19 right now, but with no Hallie, and if TJ does miss another game due to illness, Nembhard is a great play. And they've got 2 games. So he's actually someone I think I want to pay really close attention to. You might be able to get ahead of it right now with this news just kind of breaking tonight with Hallie missing 2 games. So consume this content and make your moves. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Shout out my man Mike Baston, who got into my DMs because I think I was like, yeah, CJ McConnell's back. Jose Alvarado's cap's probably too high. And then Jose Alvarado dropped 38 real life points. So take this information with a grain of salt. But anyways, Jalen Noel and Andrew Nembhard, probably my 2 favorites right now with caps of 17. Jalen Noel priced up a little bit, but Andrew Nembhard, I think you can get a deal on. Actually, let's look at Nembhard right now. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong too. So if Nembhard is watching and it's Nembhard or Nembhard, let me know and I apologize. Let's go check out Nembhard. Only 15 currently listed. Let's do lowest price. So for limited, yeah, he's just under $20. So maybe people are paying attention a little bit. But Nembhard, I like quite a bit. All right, Quentin Grimes. I don't think we have to get too much into detail. We highlighted him last week. As long as he's going to start for the New York Knicks, he's going to be a great play. Let me pull up the Knicks score on my phone real quick. I just am curious. We'll get some like real life minute update here of how many minutes Quentin Grimes played, because that's the key, right? So Grimes was he's played 33 minutes. He's only had 33 minutes into the early fourth quarter. He's only put up 4 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. But again, if you're going to like finding a player that's going to play, 35, 37 minutes is such a steal at like a cap of 15. I really like it. Walker Kessler, I don't know. The San Antonio situation, man, everybody's questionable all the time. So I'm not going out and buying any of these Spurs, but if you have them and you get news that one of them is going to sit, I think that's fine. Naz Reid, dude, we talked about Naz Reid a little bit on Friday, and it was like, I like Naz Reid, but Naz Reid might be a trap. And then Naz Reid went hammy-ham. He had a great game this weekend. So Naz with a cap of 14. Again, his playing time is going to continue to increase. His cap with no cat, his catch should probably be in this 18 to 19 range. So you're getting a little bit of a steal here with a cap of 14 and projection of 20. So shout out Naz Reid and the Timberwolves. Let's see. Let's keep going. See if we get any real cheapies. Zaire Williams is supposed to be, he's got 2 games. He's supposed to be coming back soon. He's not somebody I'm playing yet, but might be somebody I'm scooping, knowing he's coming back soon. We do like Zaire. Here we go. Javonte Green from the Bulls. I don't know what news popped that Javonte is popping as much as he is right now, but a cap of 11 with a projection of 22. I don't know if maybe Levine was sitting, but anyways, cap of 11, projection of 22, and this is what I'm loving. $4, right? Let's see what Javonte Green is over here, because I do think like again, I love these where it's like really super low risk but high reward here. Yeah, $6, dude. $6 for Javante. I like this a lot. So Javante's a little sneaky. Rocco, I don't love as much. Torian Prince, I feel like whatever. I don't know. Like in this range, give me Javante. Coloco's been solid for Toronto, but they've got so many guys that makes me a little nervous. But here we go. Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson is my favorite of this bunch, Javante and Jalen Johnson. So cap of 10, projection of 24. John Collins is going to miss a little bit of time, right? So let's actually, what's Jalen Johnson's price? It says 13 on the sheet, but I have a feeling that's probably not right. J. Joe, let's see what J. Joe is. $27. That makes more sense to me. So probably appropriately priced, but again, a smash play. You're going to see, I bet as people start sending their screenshots tonight after the slate's over, we're going to see a lot of AJ Griffin and Jalen Johnson and DeJounte Murray in those winning lineups. So I like that. Daniel Gafford, Gafford. Why I like him is because he's a big blocks guy. So at any point, he could get you like 10 points, 10 rebounds, and like 5 blocks in a game, and that's going to smash for a cap of 10. And let's see what Gafford's price is right now, because I don't hate that as well. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to be cheap. Oh, $11 actually. That's interesting that there's 44 listed. Oh, it's because I have limited and rare selected. Anyways, $11 for Gafford. I don't hate that, especially with Bradley Beal. If he's going to miss a little bit of time, I know it's not the same position, so the correlation isn't direct, but I do, more minutes to go around. Jarrett Culver, again, more of the Atlanta stuff, right? So if Trey misses time, Culver and Griffin are going to continue to pop. PJ Tucker, you're just never going to get me to play him. Sorry. And then Trent Forrest down here. Again, another Atlanta guy who's missed some time. The other guy I wanted to highlight too. So we talked about Wendell Moore, who had a cap of -1. He only put up 8 actual fantasy points on the other night, but he did start again. So if we look at Wendell Moore, he's now got a cap of 4. They're still going to miss time. Let's see what his price point is now. I'm sure I bought this at the top because I'm bad at this game. Let's see what Wendell Moore Jr. is at right now. Is that down to 16? Listen, for a cap of 4, let me show you why I actually like the Wendell Moore play, even though he only got me 8, right? When we look at where I had him, where did I have him? In the rare contender. So like Jaden Ivey's underperforming a little bit, right? But this allowed me to like have a pretty like a cap of 32 guy, a cap of I forget what Kendall's cap was, but Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, like this is a very solid lineup. It allows me to do a lot of different stuff because of a guy like a cap of -1. I get like that extra point. So even at a cap of 4, let's see. Let me double check how many minutes he played. I'm pretty sure he played the same like allotment of minutes that he did in that first game. So because I think that first game he played just over 20. If we look at yesterday, sorry, I'm looking at my phone to do this because it's easier. The Timberwolves, what are they? They lost to OKC? Wow, 130, holy high scoring, 135 to 128. But Wendell Moore, okay, he only played 16 minutes, had 9 points, 1 assist, and how many? 2 turnovers. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a thinner play than I thought, but maybe it had to do a little bit with the way the game was playing out. But I would rather have those minutes be in the 16. In like the 20 to 24 range for that cap. So maybe that's a little too thin now that I'm talking through it. But something I'm going to continue to monitor. I don't hate it. Like if you already have it, I think it's kind of a solid dart throw over there. So to recap that, I think Wendell Moore is fine, but he's not going to be like the poster child for this show, right? Because he's bad. But in this range, we got to pay attention to the Atlanta Hawk news because again, if we got weird Trae Young energy, Culver, Jalen Johnson, AJ Griffin, all like must plays. So pay attention to that. Let's see. What were the other ones that really stood out? Jalen Johnson, we talked about Daniel Gafford. He's popping a little bit. The Quentin Grimes, Javante Green, those really stand out. And then when we get a little bit higher as Nazarene, as Matt Nathanson would say, as we get a little bit higher. Come on, get higher. Quentin Grimes, we talked about. And then where was the 17 range? Andrew Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard, I think, is going to be the sneakier one. And Jalen Noel. So that is our value hunting for this week. I hope that was helpful. As you guys, I'm sure, are noticing, value hunting is getting a little bit harder. Sorry, I just knocked my headphones over. Value hunting is getting a little bit harder because I think the field is getting a little bit sharper. There are more tournaments. It's just a little bit trickier than it was earlier on. And I think the edges are getting a little bit thinner. So we got to do that work, baby. Got to do that work. As always, there's a bunch of links in our show notes, right? If you want those projections that we were using this entire show, check out Momentum Labs. There's a link in the show notes for our Discord. Come join the Discord, join our VIP, our YouTube VIP. It gets you into the gated communities in the Discord. There's a whole SORARE channel where everybody talks shop and shares lineups and strategy and all that stuff. And then again, if you watch this whole thing and have not signed up for SORARE yet, you need to find a better use of your time. But seriously, sign up for SORARE if you haven't done it and use the link below because it helps us out a little bit. And as always, we'll be back tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, hopefully with our man TST, breaking down all the late breaking news, making our lineups, checking the spreadsheets, all that stuff. Best of luck out there. We'll see you guys tomorrow.